You ever just sit there and feel nothing? Like you're not necessarily sad. You're not anxious or angry. You're just empty. Like there's this void inside you that nothing seems to fill. You scroll through your phone and nothing interests you. You hang out with friends and you're physically there but mentally you're somewhere else. You accomplish things that should make you feel good but they just don't. Nothing hits the same way it used to. And the worst part is you can't even explain it to anyone because from the outside, your life probably looks fine. You're not in crisis, you're not falling apart, you're just going through the motions, feeling absolutely nothing, wondering why you can't just feel normal anymore. I spent years feeling like this deep, persistent emptiness that I couldn't shake, and I tried everything to fill it. I bought things thinking that would help. I stayed busy constantly. I partied, I worked out, I tried dating, I threw myself into hobbies, and none of it worked because I was treating the symptoms instead of the actual problem. I was trying to fill the void instead of understanding why the void existed in the first place. And once I finally understood what was really going on, everything changed. So if you feel empty right now, if you feel like nothing matters and you can't figure out why, I think I can help because I've been there and I found my way out. Let's start with what's actually happening. Why do we feel empty? And the answer isn't simple, but I think it comes down to a few major things that our generation is dealing with that previous generations just didn't have to face. First, we're overstimulated to the point of numbness. Think about how much content you consume in a single day. How many videos, posts, messages, notifications, sounds, images. Your brain is being bombarded with stimulation constantly from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. And your brain wasn't designed for this. It can't process this much information. So it does what it has to do to survive. It shuts down. It goes numb. It stops reacting to things because if it reacted to everything, you'd be overwhelmed 24/7. So you end up in this state where nothing feels like anything. You watch a funny video and you don't laugh. You see something sad and you don't cry. You experience things that should make you feel something, but you just don't because your emotional system has been overloaded and it's protecting itself by shutting off. I noticed this in myself when I realized I could scroll through hundreds of posts and not react to a single one. Not a smile, not a thought, nothing. Just consuming and moving on, like a zombie. And the scary part is, this becomes your baseline. You get so used to feeling nothing that you forget what it feels like to actually feel something. And then when you do occasionally feel something real, it's almost uncomfortable because you're not used to it anymore. Second, we're disconnected from real human connection. And I know that sounds weird because we're more connected than ever, right? We have hundreds of friends online. We can talk to anyone at any time. We're never truly alone, but we're lonelier than we've ever been because those connections aren't real. Liking someone's post isn't connection. Sending a quick text isn't connection. Having 1,000 followers isn't connection. Real connection is sitting with someone and having an actual conversation. It's being vulnerable with another person. It's feeling seen and understood. It's having people in your life who actually know you, not just the version of you that you present online. And most of us don't have that anymore. We have surface level relationships with tons of people, but deep relationships with almost no one. We know what everyone's doing, but we don't know how anyone's actually feeling. And humans need real connection. It's not optional, it's a fundamental need like food or water. And when we don't have it, we feel empty because there's this hole that's supposed to be filled by genuine human relationships, and instead it's filled with likes and comments and follows that don't actually satisfy anything. I felt this so hard during college. I had a ton of friends. I was always hanging out with people, but I felt completely alone because none of those friendships were deep. Nobody really knew me. I didn't really know them. We were just around each other. And it wasn't until I made a conscious effort to actually connect with people, to have real conversations, to be vulnerable, to invest in a few deep friendships instead of many shallow ones, that this particular emptiness started to fade. Third, we have no sense of purpose. And I'm not talking about some grand life mission or calling. I'm talking about basic purpose. The feeling that what you're doing matters, that your life is moving towards something, that you're building something meaningful. But most of us don't feel that. We wake up, we go to work or school, we do the things we're supposed to do, and then we go to sleep and we do it again the next day and the next, and nothing feels like it matters because we're stuck in this cycle of just existing. We're not creating anything, we're not building anything, we're not working toward anything we actually care about. We're just going through the motions because that's what we're supposed to do. And when you live like that for long enough, you start to feel empty because humans need purpose. We need to feel like we're doing something that matters, even if it's small. We need to feel like we're moving towards something, but instead we're just here, consuming content, working jobs we don't care about, spending money on things we don't need, and wondering why none of it feels fulfilling. It's because it's not supposed to be fulfilling. It's just filler, it's just noise. Fourth, we've lost touch with ourselves. When's the last time you just sat in silence with your own thoughts? No phone, no TV, no music, no distractions. Just you and your mind. For most people, the answer is never, or at least not since they were a kid, because we're terrified of being alone with ourselves. We fill every single moment with something. We can't even go to the bathroom without scrolling on our phones. And when you never spend time with yourself, you lose touch with who you are. You don't know what you actually want because you've never stopped to think about it. You don't know what you feel because you've been numbing it with constant distraction. And then you wonder why you feel empty. It's because you're disconnected from yourself. You're living on autopilot, reacting to whatever comes your way, never stopping to check in with yourself and ask, what do I actually want? What actually matters to me? Who am I? I went through a phase where I was terrified of being alone. I always needed to be around people or doing something or consuming something. And looking back, I realized it was because I was running from myself. I didn't want to face what I was actually feeling or thinking. But eventually, I forced myself to just sit in silence. And at first, it was unbearable. My mind was racing. I was uncomfortable. I wanted to grab my phone so badly, but I didn't. And after a while, things started to settle, and I started to actually connect with myself again. So, those are the main reasons I think we feel empty: overstimulation, lack of real connection, no sense of purpose, and disconnection from ourselves. And if you're feeling empty right now, I'm willing to bet at least one of these, probably all of them, resonates with you. So, how do you fix it? How do you stop feeling empty? And the answer isn't going to be what you want to hear because it requires actual effort and change. But it works. I promise it works. First, you need to reduce the stimulation, and I mean seriously reduce it. Cut back on social media, limit your screen time, stop consuming content constantly, give your brain a chance to reset. I know this is hard. I know you're going to feel like you're missing out, but you're not. You're already missing out. You're missing out on actually feeling things because your brain is too overloaded to process anything. Start small. Delete one app for a week and see what happens. Or set a timer and only allow yourself an hour of scrolling per day. Or put your phone in another room when you're hanging out with people. Whatever you can manage, do it, because you need to create space for your emotions to come back, and they won't come back if you're constantly bombarding yourself with content. Second, invest in real relationships. Stop spreading yourself thin across 100 surface level friendships and focus on building a few deep ones. Reach out to someone and have an actual conversation, not through text. Call them, or better yet, see them in person. Be vulnerable. Share what you're actually going through. Ask them what they're actually going through. Build real connection, because that's what's going to fill the void. Not likes, not followers, real human connection. Third, find something that gives you purpose. And it doesn't have to be huge. It can be a hobby, a project, a goal, whatever. Just something that you're working toward that actually matters to you. For me, it was this channel, creating something, putting it out into the world, hopefully helping people. That gave me purpose. That made me feel like what I was doing mattered. For you, it might be learning a new skill, or working on your fitness, or volunteering, or building something, or creating art. It doesn't matter what it is, it just has to be something you actually care about. Because when you have something you're working toward, when you can see yourself making progress on something that matters, that emptiness starts to fade. You feel like you're building something instead of just existing. Fourth, spend time alone with yourself. I know it's uncomfortable. I know you'd rather distract yourself, but you have to do it. Turn everything off and just sit with your thoughts. Journal if that helps. Go on walks without headphones. Sit in your room in silence. Just give yourself space to think, to feel, to process. Reconnect with yourself. Figure out what you actually want instead of just doing what you think you're supposed to do. And finally, be patient with yourself. You're not going to stop feeling empty overnight. It took time to get here, and it'll take time to get out. But if you do these things consistently, I promise you'll start to feel something again. You'll start to actually enjoy things. You'll start to feel connected to people. You'll start to feel like your life has meaning. The emptiness will fade, and you'll remember what it feels like to actually feel alive. I know, because I've been where you are, and I got out, and you can too. You just have to stop trying to fill the void with more noise and start addressing what's actually causing it. So, what's one thing you can do today to start fixing this? Pick one, just one, and do it. Comment it below. Hold yourself accountable, because you deserve to feel something. You deserve to feel alive. And you can. You just have to start. We'll talk again soon.